Hello, everyone, and welcome to the annual Nya Awards of 2025, the most objective awards show in the cosmos. Not yet confirmed in every reality. Anyway, welcome. We have a whole year behind us. We have a lot of stuff we need to get over. We have a final round of building trains before I scatter off somewhere to help my creators. Anyway, there's a lot of stuff that happened this year, and shockingly, a lot of stuff concentrated in quite literally the last months of the year, to the point where I was just like, you know what? We need negative awards this year. We need to actually honor all the shit that has happened, all the crap that has befallen gaming, because we had a year with great moments, and we had a year with moments that just made us stare blankly into the distance and ask ourselves, what the fuck are we even doing here? Why is this? And on that note, I do think we can just we can dive in and talk about all the things that were interesting, all the things we are looking forward to, or at least I do, because this is my awards show and I'm objective and I'm living in the cosmos, so everything is right. Sometimes you will hear some background noises made by Agonia. She's here. And
always here, pretty much.
Yeah. I know, that's kind of your thing. But yeah, otherwise, I do want to say that we have some wonderful, wonderful new awards to give out. Because as said, this year we are handing out some negative awards for the first time. Because sometimes it was just truly that shit. As you can see, we have our standard Nya Award trophy, which will go to the good things this year, the stuff that made us happy, the things that made us smile, made by the wonderful Fred Gatto over on Blue Sky. So, handcrafted pixel art, no Gen AI whatsoever, none of that bullshit. This award show stays real. And also, again, the first time this year, we have the negative Nya Awards for all the things that just made us go, why? Why did this happen? Why did we need to experience this? In this moment of time, at this point in space, was this really necessary? Because this could have been a year of escapism. The world sucks. Everything is going to hell. And we need all our brain power to battle that. And yet, some games just want to shit the bed and make everything just more annoying. And this is what this award is for. For everything that just makes you go, why? And let's just immediately start with the first one. That is actually getting handed out to... This is our first negative award of the evening. So, when the year started, one big game was coming out. A game nearly no one is talking about anymore. For good reason, because it had a drop of over 90% in sales. Absolutely sharp. Almost beaten by its predecessor in the same year. A game where everyone said the updates will fix it. And the updates didn't even help in the slightest bit. It was embarrassing for a long-standing series with a big fan base that nowadays nearly everyone who has played it for a long time has gone and said, this is worthless. So yeah, everyone, the award for most disappointing game release of 2025 goes to Monster Hunter Wilds. Congratulations, Capcom. You really managed to just not deliver at all. A game that had interesting ideas, never really followed through on anything, added mechanics that just made the game way more complicated and overbearing than it had any right to be, tanked the whole performance of a series that always ran really good on nearly every platform. Like, this was a series that ran on the 3DS, and now it couldn't even run on an RTX graphics card. Congratulations. And what did the updates do to fix that? Nothing. They just added less thing to use, more slot machines, even more slot machines on top of the slot machines, and reduced the graphics quality. I guess at least it runs now better. Wow. First negative award of the year. Congratulations, Capcom. You outdid yourself.
Remember, before it came out, we were kind of hyped about the story. Until we played the story.
Indeed. Welcome, co-host Agonia. We were definitely excited. We were like, maybe there's stuff that can save this one. And in the end, nothing saved it.
It was before it came out.
Before it came out, yeah. We were like,
oh, here are the patterns of certain monsters. We already have inklings to that some of them may be artificial. And then they just were like, no, there's some variants there that are artificial. The world is dead. It doesn't change.
The world is dead. Nothing really makes sense. There's a very uncomfortable layer of racism going on to the point where I'm like, why is no one saying that? And also, hey, one smart cat. Yeah, the first Dead Inside Kitty of the year. A very personal one too. A game that could have been so much more. And then just didn't do anything.
Well, it did slot machines, I guess.
It did slot machines. I mean, I guess it's better than Gen AI, but I mean, you know what? At this point, let's just wait for the expansion to do that after the bubble burst, just to put the cherry on top. Oh yeah. Anyway, yeah, what a start into the year. We definitely had, it was definitely a rough time. So this is why I always say, let's come back to trains. Because I like trains, you like trains. And today we are giving out awards while building some trains. Those are for running at 40 FPS on my PC in 1080p with an RTX 5080 hair cam, Leo. It is wild. Wild that this game just didn't do shit. I am to this day I am just amazed.
Yeah, they did some very weird shit.
Yeah. I do think everyone is like, oh, the expansion might fix it, but like, really? Do you really think the expansion will do that?
We did not even get proper Gogmasius weapons.
Yeah.
We got, well,
upgrades to the gambling weapons.
Yeah.
It's, oh hey, you want endgame, what about more gambling? Okay, I guess, Capcom. I can also just not play your game. And you know what it also managed to do? It's almost impressive, I would say. It managed to just not just not have anything worthwhile happening for the whole year. Like, I am serious. I played the game and we played it, and ironically, if you thought, oh hey, maybe I could at least upgrade my weapons or upgrade my armor set, until Gogmasius there was nothing, and even then you need to question yourself, do you really want to fight Gogmasius? Like, that is a genuine question you need to answer yourself. Do you want to do that? Because it's one of the most boring fights in the whole series. They managed to fuck up Gogmasios, which is impressive. But yeah.
I told them before the game came out. Make it Dragonator Harpoon and let us fight Yamatsukami in the plains.
But what if there is no Yamatsukami, no fun, and nothing? I mean, you know the one upside probably is to Gogmasios, even if everyone says it's kind of a horrible fight.
Hmm?
According to data mines, they actually wanted to do Shengao Ren beforehand.
Oh, that would be interesting.
You know, it would be interesting, but you can already see that it might have sucked as well.
Probably, yeah.
The DLC versus Future 6 is when I was wondering whether the game has to compensate for certain other from him having poor reception. Hey, Jun, 100%. I know there are still some people playing, and like, I'd say, why? But, yeah, I mean, they said themselves, Wilds fell off, like, nearly 100%. That is impressively bad, I would say. Just astounding levels of, that should not happen. And apparently, apparently all the other games in Capcom's library still seem to be going well. Like, Street Fighter 6 is a rousing success. The series is back, hooray. Pragmata seems to be a great one. I don't know about Resident Evil 9, but we will see about that. It's probably not gonna be a bad game. It's just Monster Hunter decided to just be kind of shit. And that's very frustrating. So yeah, by the way, the negative awards, just to be clear here, they are definitely more a Dead Inside award and not, you know, oh, this is like the worst thing to ever happen. I mean, some things are the worst to ever happen. We will get to those. But mainly, I do want to highlight that this is not about something totally bad. This is more about why do we need to actually experience this. I mean, was it worthwhile? I don't know. Maybe. Maybe this was actually worth it to just torpedo the whole series. Make everyone just kind of annoyed.
I think the more you like the series and the world, the more pissed off you are at it.
Yeah. I mean, listen, I'm not going to be someone who's like, oh, this is definitive proof, but like, when, you know, you go online and you see people who are like, Well, you know, I was never able to finish Monster Hunter World. So I'm really liking Gogmazios. I just sit there being like, okay, do you know what you just wrote, by the way? That's just like, that's basically just saying, hey, I suck.
Which is fine.
This is my opinion. And like, I guess, but also, are you sure about that?
I mean, it's fine to not be good at something, even though you technically can learn. It's a relatively easy game.
Yeah, it's absolutely fine to be not good at something, but also, I don't know how to put it in the nicest words. Why should we listen to you? That is a genuine question, by the way. Why? That's just legitimate. Okay, you know what? We are finishing up this small town, and then we shall give out our first positive award of the year. Because I do think we should get some positive vibes in.
I have to add, though, they also blew the ancient dragon weapon, the equal dragon weapon. Sorry.
That definitely was another insult, I would say. For everyone who doesn't know, there was this concept in Monster Hunter since the first game called the equal dragon weapon. And it was an idea that humans at some point...
Not humans.
Well, the ancients...
Yeah, humans didn't exist at that point.
We don't know, actually.
As far as...
In the original, yes. But,
as far as I know, humans came later.
Which makes the whole Viveria situation even weirder, if you think about it.
Why is it called Viveria?
Yeah, but like, why do the humans live below and the Vivarians live up? They just... Yeah, look, we have basically humans that live in Viveria, the ruins of Viveria.
Yes.
And we do have the Vivarians that live at the top. So...
Yeah? Oh?
It's a bit weird, all of that.
Maybe even the Vivarians were humans once, or the humans were made later and are a different caste or something. Who knows?
Who genuinely knows at this point?
Almost just, it was this big terrible war crime the ancient civilization did. And yeah, technically it wasn't canon, but that's only because Capcom decided later that it wasn't canon.
Yeah, I mean, it was an interesting idea they scrapped from the first games.
Yeah.
And then they wanted to follow through on it, and now they used it for something that's... questionable?
Questionable is too nice. It is kind of an insult to the whole idea.
Yeah.
But you wanted to go to positive stuff.
Yeah. First, we kind of got this township here done, and we will... I do think we shall first actually finish this one up. Lots of new stuff in this final release, actually, so... There we go. Yeah, I think we have something very fun here. Good. So, the next one, I think we should go to something more positive. Because I do think we need to say there were moments where games had, games that were already out decided, hey, let's expand on what we have. And sometimes those expansions were actually good. and were actual expansions, not just, we're talking about like bread and butter story. You play them, you enjoy them, and it's a full experience. And I do think one stood out this year because it did nearly everything an expansion should do for a game I already really enjoyed last year. And so the best expansion, the Nya Award for the best expansion, goes to Still Wakes the Deep Siren's Rest. Yeah, I do think this one is fantastic. If you never played Still Wakes the Deep, it's sadness simulator. It says it's a horror game, but it's sadness. And Siren's Deep is kind of more of that. It changes a few things. It's a bit rough. It was especially a bit rough around the edges at launch, but nothing that really killed the experience. It changed up how you played the game. So there were some new mechanics. It felt fresh, but also in terms of storyline, it recontextualized a lot of stuff that happened in the main game. So yeah, this was just, again, a fantastic expansion. It provided something new. It added to the main game. It is also just a fantastic experience overall. So yeah, congratulations, Still Wakes the Deep Siren's Rest. You get the Nya Award for Best Expansion this year. And on that note, I highly recommend Still Wakes Deep to everyone who's watching if you are in the mood for a good narrative experience. So moving on with our little buildings part here. I have a few things to cover still. By the way, we are taking inspirations for this building part. So if you are like, hey, this should maybe be on the island, just tell, it will be added. So let's add some traits. Well. I don't think this should look like that. Let's actually make this one a little bit. This looks better. Yeah. Oh, well. But yeah, I do think we actually have been losing the art of making a good expansion over recent years. That has to be in both positive and negative ways. So I'd say to a degree, we do see expansions happening more, but not in a way where I would say, oh yeah, this is like really the way it should be. Let me iterate. So, first off, as I said, a good expansion is something that adds to a game. Meaning there are new mechanics, there are new experiences, there's a lot of new stuff in it. And usually that also was, and at best, should be something that is a bit standalone. Now, most expansions nowadays are, and I don't mean that directly negatively, extensions. And that is fine. Actually, I do think an extension of a game can be useful. Like, for example, when we talk about multiplayer games, for example, I do think a lot of them, people rather want extensions than expansions. But when we talk about single-player experiences, I do think we are lacking the classic expansion experience just a little bit. We've been, because when I look at what has come out over the last years, I think more and more devs are doing the From Software style of expansion. And again, that is not directly bad. Everyone who is wondering, oh, Nya, what is the From Software style of expansion? Well, I'm glad you asked. See, when Dark Souls came out, they made an expansion for it. And what it basically did was add new stuff. And that's great. But the expansion was basically that. An extension of things that already existed in the game. A side area you will do at some point. And, well, then just have more stuff to play through. Again, this isn't bad, because it just kind of sits down and extends what is there. And people like that. People like their games being extended. They like having more stuff to play with what they have. But also, it kind of made it to the degree that it was just that. It was really just the problem that we looked at a game, and then the game had a bit more. Similarly, a lot of games nowadays do the same thing. They just add something that is just part of the bigger game world. And that's good. But also it's just boring. If you think about it. It's just boring. Because don't you also want to have something that is maybe a bit more meaty? Something that maybe is actually its own thing, that takes what the game was and just pushes it? Reusing the tools for like a true new experience. I would say, actually, and by the way, I'm completely serious with that here. I would say that might actually be the better choice for Monster Hunter, even. And I know this probably sounds like, yeah, what are you talking about? What do you mean this might be the better choice for Monster Hunter? Let me elaborate. I do think oh, nice. Let me guess, you're in England? Because that's a pretty big island with trains. The only other big island I know with trains are like, is like, you know, Japan. So. Yeah. Because I do think there's a lot of stuff in Wilds that could be interesting. You know? I fully concede that point. I do think there is a lot of stuff in Wilds that is interesting. But I do think, on a fundamental level, Wilds is flawed.
He's slow.
And Gothenburg on the island of Hisingen. Oh! In Sweden! Nice. Yeah. And I do think if they actually would sit down, you know, take the engine they have, and we're just like, let's actually build something new with the engine that we have. Like, new areas, you know, maybe take out the, maybe take out the open world, make new areas, reuse all the monsters that were already in the main game. Like, just reuse them. You can do that. But, like, actually make a classic experience with the tool set that they already have. Then they can, from the beginning, balance it to be a better game. And also, you know, care about the performance. I think this kind of semi-expansion would just work a lot better than...
They're missing a lot of subspecies anyway.
Yeah. You know, then trying to just slam now something in and just be like, oh, hey, how about we just do this and, you know, add this, add this, add this. No. Don't add. Don't just add. You need to be mindful of what your game is supposed to have. And I don't think Wilds right now is mindful of anything. Okay, so let's see. I did want to add something, and I know I'm not finding it anymore. That is not good. Oh god, my bot. What do you think about Shutters of Commerce? Oh, you know what? I think about Shutters of Commerce, we can actually go into another Nya Award with that, because we have a special category of at the Nya Awards. I do think is very, very important to have, especially on this channel, because I do think the award for Best Victoria 3 this year goes once again to Victoria 3. Congratulations, Victoria 3. Only you are doing Victoria 3 like no one else. Actually, Shadows of Commerce was fantastic. It did the game is ready to make every Minecraft world I've ever built now that I'm looking at it. It's a very nice and relaxing game. Like, I was thinking, because Agonia told me I should just do some trains on the side. And I was like, yeah. And I was like, I don't want to do something like Transport Fever 2. Because, yeah. And then I was like, wait, this is a wonderful little game. But yeah, everyone, I do think Victoria 3 has its strongest year so far behind it. Ironically, I would say, Shutters of Commerce was not even the best expansion this year for Wiki 3.
Okay.
I do think Shutters of Commerce was the most important one they did. Because while I do think the smaller story-focused ones like National Awakening and now Hyperion Twilight added a lot of stuff and like fantastic ideas like the rework crew system and amendments, etc. And really just were like, oh, I'm using this part of the game a lot. Like, I think the irony about Shutters of Commerce is like it changed a few things in massive ways. Like, we went from a very cumbersome trading system to having a world market and treaties and a lot of fantastic things that just made it flow better than before. And on that level, with companies, with CEOs, with everything, I do think Shutters of Commerce is an absolute fantastic expansion that really changed a core part of Wiki 3 to just be better. And the game ran better. Because, the world market was just now, everyone is trading all at once. The game just was in a better state. And I think only due to that, all the later things that now Hyperion Twilight, for example, did, were even that impactful. Because I do think Hyperion Twilight, for example, with its amendments and negotiations, is fantastic because it actually tackled one part of the game that is absolutely crucial to handle if you want to succeed at building a state, but always lacked some depth, and now you have depth. I think that's the thing. Hyperion Twilight to a degree added a more important system because it is felt by more people. But I do think all of these smaller things would not work as well if Shutters of Commerce wasn't what it was. Hell. Yeah, this was definitely the best year for Wiki 3 so far. I hope the next year will be better. They already said they want to implement a lot of new technology that newer versions of the Clausewitz engine have. So, hey, if Wiki 3 starts running as well as EU5 does in the future, I'm down for that. I think generally Agonia and I, we are very much in unison. As interesting as it sounds that they want to rework Naval finally to make every ship important, I do think it also could be something that could just tank. It could just tank everything in terms of performance. And that would be bad. However, it probably won't. So I'm looking for that. Wiki 3 right now has not disappointed. And like, I know there is currently one Wiki 3 clone on the way, but I doubt they will be close to Wiki 3. Because they are working on this game and really making a difference. Also, you know what, Agonia? If you want to talk and give your input on the awards, now you're here.
Hello. Oh, I like Wiki 3. I think this year was mostly laying groundwork again.
Okay,
That's what it feels like. Like lots of small fundaments. Of
yeah.
the field offer.
I mean, there is the irony that that we could say, like, which year of Wiki 3 was not laying groundwork?
Fair point.
Because it's always like, yeah, this is interesting groundwork for. Sits there, grinds to hold. Oh, will it ever stop being groundwork? Question mark.
There's some things that I would like to be fixed. Like maybe police shouldn't have been nerfed, and please finally fix the incorporation bug for police. I do not want to sit at 97% incorporation and 0.0% police. That makes no sense. Victoria, please.
As a leftist, you're saying they shouldn't have nerfed the police?
They shouldn't have nerfed the police because of what they're using the police for. Because yes, we have events where like, oh no, the police are suppressing people. Yes, but actually they're just not radical, that's all. For some reason, police, unless it's military police, are just people that stand around and extrude an it's not so bad aura. That's what
basically
what the police is in Wiki 3. Nothing more, nothing less. And since it's the only real option of reducing radicals,
kind of sucks that it is just not in the best situation, actually.
And with the whole nationalism thing that people now have, you kind of got the problem that you have, except for the nerf police, you have no levers to directly deal with it. You have some indirect ones. That's true. That's fair. But I think those are things that probably come next. Direct or indirect methods to better combat the whole separatism thing.
It should just have been there already, I'd say.
Would be nice.
Yeah.
Because right now it's just like, okay, I make a lot of puppets and I increase my migration attraction and then hope that my culture overlap traits are big enough that I can get enough people.
Yeah. It's weird, to say the very least. So, yeah. Maybe, like, let us, as I said multiple times already, let us just, in the military panel, say, okay, aggressive generals attack, defensive generals defend. They are not good at attacking. And then just give the front line one toggle that basically decides, okay, the aggressive generals do aggression now versus they're passive. And the defensive generals defend. Like, those should be the two states, so that if you have, like, I don't know, there was a time where it was really efficient to have stacks of 20. So 10 infantry, 10 cannons. Yeah.
Do you really want 200 people in stacks of 20 with 4 generals each? Do you want that micro? No, I don't think so.
I mean, hey, it's kind of better than, the whole full cannon stack go from EU5.
They fixed that, but yes.
It was still
no, it's technically it's worse because the full cannon stack requires less micro, and I for once don't think that grand strategy games should strive to have
micro.
Yeah, they should be very much designing mechanics where the player doesn't have to micro.
Or, at least not micro as much.
Yeah, as little as possible.
That's fair.
But we will see.
We definitely will see how that turns out in the future, because right now, Wiki 3 actually looks pretty good. I do think they can definitely go and make another big impact down the line. But it really comes down to what will what their what the next year will bring. Stupidly said, but I think you get my drift. Yeah. You know what? Oh yeah, I think we have a few more awards to go. We have some awarding to go, I know. But we will get right to that after the finishing of this segment. That I pass. God damn it! I need to replace the station again. And you know what? Let's just do a bit here, a bit here. I really, I think one thing I wished Minecraft would have actually added over the years is like actual train systems. I think we can all agree on that.
If you want an actual train system, you need to play Clonk.
Okay, you know what? Stop with your clonk.
No, Clonk.
It's dead.
It's not dead if you play it.
Okay, I do. Sometimes.
Sometimes. And then you walk your clonks off cliffs. Right?
Yes. So, by the way, next award is going to be a special one. because we had a lot of positive. We had a bunch of positive stuff this year, but I do think there is also a bunch of negative. And I think we need to honor the stuff that everyone else has already forgotten, because I might just be the only person that even remembers this, and that it sucks. It's because this year we actually also lost games. Because I think every time a game gets shut down, it's kind of sad. Because sometimes devs do want to keep working on a game. Devs want to expand the game. Devs want to actually make a game interesting. And then a publisher comes along and says, no, you won't do this anymore. Sometimes this is even for very valid reasons. And even if it is valid, it still sucks, because I do think there is a very stupid reality about games. And that is, if you give a game enough time, passion, and money, every game can turn itself around. Every single one. This is true, I would say, also for Monster Hunter Wilds. Even as much as I say they should maybe go a completely different way, if the devs actually got time, money, and were able to just do what they want, they could turn this game into something interesting. But maybe it would not even be the hardest game or the best Monster Hunter game, but I think a game should be something where you feel that the people working on it wanted to work on it. Something where you really feel there were ideas and passions behind it. And I think losing those games, that sucks the most. So the award for the most disappointing game shutdown of 2025 goes to Ubisoft and X-Defiant. And I bet you all forgot that game existed, but it was a goddamn shame. It was a real shame. Because basically this was a game that, how should I put it in the best way? It was shot in the legs and then demanded that it ran a marathon. And they never replaced the legs. And it got better. It was in a healing process, and then it was dead. And I do not know how to put it in a better way. This was a game that was killed when it was going. Like, probably everyone's like, well, this was a Ubisoft free-to-play shooter with like all their big names in it, and that's true. And I would say to a degree it had its problems. It had a rough start, it didn't have like a lot of content, it was a bit unfocused, but beneath that, while it refined itself, it kind of became that game, I would say, to a degree that a lot of people actually wanted to see from Overwatch, I would say. It was enjoyable. It was good. I've followed this one since it was an alpha, and it came a long way. It did to a degree, but I mean, let's just start from the beginning on what kind of shit show this game was. First of all, basically Ubisoft told them, use the Snowdrop engine. Now, the Snowdrop engine is good for a few things. It was not built to make a first-person shooter. It was also not made with a netcode to support a first-person shooter. If we remember, the game was literally delayed for months because they had to write a new netcode. And I can tell you that is something I totally expected to a degree, because as good as it got, every time I played the alpha and beta, it still had problems. And then also, a lot of teams helped out making maps. I think there was a clear reason why most of the maps were from, well, The Division, because this is a game in the engine of The Division that then just didn't get anything to do, that just had to do stuff, and so they just reused stuff from The Division. And that's fine. It's just basically they got up to 3 seasons and then they were told that was whoops. However, in the last effort, they actually put out everything they had lined up. And I would say in the first year they had some decisions, they made some decisions, I would say, that probably didn't help grab them attention. Like, I think in terms of gameplay, some of the decisions were actually pretty good. Some were questionable. Like, for example, the game was already very heavily leaning towards a defense. So, like, most factions actually had a very, very defensive kit, so everything was very slow. And then the first season introduced Rainbow Six with even more defensive kits. Then the second season actually introduced the Highwaymen from Far Cry New Dawn, which were, in terms of gameplay, great because they actually brought a lot of offensive capabilities into the game. And everyone is probably now thinking, why them? In terms of gameplay, I totally get it. In terms of getting people interested in the game, this is the worst choice you can make. Seasons took a long time. The really interesting attack and defense maps were not the main ones. And yeah, then it kind of stopped with the release of the Assassins. And actually a whole lot of extra stuff, because they were just like, hey, this is everything that just kind of is working right now. Enjoy. And yeah, the Assassins were fun. They had like they had maps set in Greece. They had one set in, how's it called again? They had one set in England, in the Valhalla setting. And then they were just like, hey, you know what? Here's the stuff we wanted to do later. And they had things like, just put it up on the screen. For example, the Wolves from Ghost Recon Breakpoint, which would probably be more interesting because they actually had also a very interesting kit to play around with. There were maps from Far Cry 6, Far Cry 4. There was a quite literal working Rayman map in the game. And I'm not kidding. This is a game where you have serious looking designs. But again, already with the Greece and England maps, they were like, okay, let's make it a bit more interesting. But then Rayman, and I played that map. It was cartoony. It had jump pads. It was like wild. And you're probably thinking, oh wow. So who did they want to put in later? The answer was goddamn Blood Dragon Omega Force. Do you see what I mean with we were robbed? They kind of had the probably most safe first year lined up. It would have been fine if Ubisoft just didn't pull the plug, because again, everyone likes Blood Dragon. This would have been fantastic, being a cyborg ninja, and you could just do all the you could do a lot of shit. Like, this was fun. This was great. They had very interesting ideas lined up, like, hey, what if we take a map, because they had a payload mode that is set in, that was definitely planned for the 4th season, that is set in the Ghost Recon Breakpoint setting, but the attackers have a payload that is DedSec from Watch Dogs. And so, like, it kind of started merging their stuff. Like, the game was going. And then it died. And what we're left with is a game that quite literally gave us, as a final hurrah, a glimpse into what could have been if, you know, it didn't. If Ubisoft just didn't pull the plug. If they actually put it Steam native. There's an irony, I would say even, that everyone said, just put XDefiant on Steam native. People will play it. And I can guarantee you that, because maybe, to a degree, the fact that all the classic shooters have been underselling on PC, besides, you know, the Milsim experiences, was just like, all of the big publishers, you know, forced their own launchers, and the moment one of them didn't, well, Battlefield 6 outsold Call of Duty suddenly. How about that? Again, Call of Duty, the only one that stayed Steam native, and oh, a lot of people played it. Shocker. Yeah. So yeah, the Nya Award for most disappointing game cancellation. Good job, Ubisoft. I really wish we could have seen more of this game. But that's sadly a common thing with online games nowadays. I don't think we had a lot that even stayed afloat for long enough. Hell, let's also just look at a lot of co-op games. I do think they do a lot better because they, you know, don't say, hey, we need you to keep buying our stuff. But on the other hand, how many co-op games really kept being a thing? Have you kept track? To a degree? About how many co-op games are still a thing? And the answer is, nearly all of them had to be like, well, sorry, that was it. We had a good run. And then there are the tight games by Fat Shark. I think I summed up the situation pretty well. This doesn't mean, you know, that I would say those are bad. Quite the opposite. I mean, hell, if we can, I would maybe even throw in some Dark Tide later this stream. If we're maybe done with all the awards and so on and so forth. But the reality is that in the end, we do see so many games just falter. Just simply break apart and not recover. And that's a shame. Because there is room for a lot of games. And I do think we are living in times where a lot of the reactions are just, well, that's just how it is, and or, you know, well, that game deserves it. And I don't think games deserve to die. Games can fail. But I do think every game kind of at least deserves a chance. And some games don't even get that. don't want to be too negative here, but you get my point. So, and there we go. Okay, so apparently it just doesn't want to fill in those holes. That's fascinating. If things go on like that, who is could consider what the most embarrassing buyout by a country? Don't remind me of that. Like, I mean, I do think we just have enough bullshit going on in general with that. And the fact that, like, let's just be clear here. I do think we should just really prevent Saudi Arabia from gaining any more leverage in the gaming industry. Period. Like, this is bad. I mean, right now we do have a bunch of pushback from unions and such for the EA buyout, which is good because no one wants this. It's just, there is a certain amount of just pure bullshit going on that this is even happening. And I'm going to be honest with you. Jun pointed out something really important here, by the way. A lot of those companies just run themselves against the wall for a while. And for stupid reasons. Because here's the thing. Most major companies are profitable. They are. They're making money. They're doing well. They are just completely in a good position. And yet, their whole business model screams, oh no, you need to make more money. And if that money just doesn't manifest for some reason, well, suddenly, a fucking dictatorship can knock on the door and be like, hey, do you maybe want to have money? And, I mean, yeah, I don't think we should allow any country that is a monarchy, that is a actually backwards monarchy, that kills people, that has some of the most repressive laws in that we know of in the world, that consistently ignores human law, that assists in the genocide. I do not think that we should let those have any control over media. The media that people build with passion, with, you know, love, and they just want to use to boost their image. I don't think we should allow that at all and ever. I know this is now probably the most melodramatic and over-the-top speech I've given this evening, but I do think this is important. I do think we need to be very aware of the things that will come if we do not keep that in check. Because whatever we think is now bad, it will be worse. And I do think no one wants to have an even worse situation about gaming than we are in right now. Like, no one. Hell, even the Nya Awards are just here a bit to rant about the year. Or point out the good, or the bad, the ugly, and all the weird things in between. Because, believe it or not, there are times in this year where you think, that was odd. How did that happen? Why did that happen? It's the old saying of we are so back and it's so over. Sometimes there are games that just symbolize this dynamic better than anyone else. And I do think we should honor that, actually. And so it is actually my pleasure to announce that the first and only dual award of the evening for how the hell did you manage to do that goes to Helldivers 2. I cannot think of any other game this year that made me go, we are so back, followed up by holy shit, everything is over. Because when when the year started, Helldivers came out strong. It finally had, city missions. There was great new stuff in the war bonds. There were new enemies. It was fun. You played the game and it was fun. It was intense. It was everything they always said it should be. It was great. And then Into the Unjust happened. And I don't even need to exaggerate. Even the devs admitted it was bad. Performance-wise, the game tanked. Gameplay-wise, the game was just unfun. Quite literally. We had you were flooded with enemies that were basically just saying, hey, use this type of weapon or go home. This wasn't even a thing where, just screaming loudly, don't listen to the meta was an option, because everything was armored and everything was just screaming for medium penetration or explosive damage. It seems to be on its way back. Performance is actually working again. They also dropped the huge bomb of reducing their game size from 130 gigabytes to 28, which is, in terms of game performance and game size, that is an impressive development. So yeah, I don't know. Will it avoid the award for It's So Over, We Are So Back next year? I don't know. But I can tell you as much, it definitely deserved it this time. Because, what can I say? It really was just a wild ride. I don't hate the game. I do think this award especially shows how much this could just go up and go down, and I hope next year it goes up again and not go down. So this is for you, Helldivers 2. I hope you enjoy those awards, and I will definitely watch you with great interest. So, well, something just went very wrong here. But yeah, I do think we shouldn't let games die, because I think, again, Helldivers 2 is probably a good example for they can just keep working on the game, and hey, it has the highest highs and the lowest lows, and I think we should enjoy that more with games. Perfect. I don't know what I'm building here. This see this more as an art project than anything else. Okay?
Art.
Art though entertained.
Not sure.
That is a problem then. We need to do something about that. But yeah, I do think we are at a very peculiar time in history, actually, that I don't think gaming will go away. I actually do think, as of now, gaming is still going stronger than most industries. Because I do think people want to play games. People want to keep playing games. It's just the matter of fact that we need to probably acknowledge that it's going to be a rough time going forward. And I don't know how it will end. Like, sorry if I'm just muttering like that in front of you, because like this year had a thing that was probably on everyone's mind. And I think we can actually go right over to probably one of the biggest negative awards. And I can even pull up a game for that. Because this award is just the general blank stare award. And it goes to generative AI. Like, fucking hell. Fuck off. Go away. We do not want you. No one wants you. No one wants you. This is the worst crap that happened in a long time. And everyone is rightfully sick that every single company keeps trying to push it into games. Oh, you know what? I shouldn't say company. I should say CEO. Because every single time it is a CEO that goes, well, everyone is using it, and and every time they say, well, it actually helps us with development. And then they never specify what they do. They never specify how it helps. They never specify anything. They just say, well, it does. And then it always comes down to generated voices, generated text, and generated images. And at some point, you need to ask yourself, what are we doing here? Because it's in every single game. And I think with this introduction, we can start kind of a rapid fire category. Because I do think we have a few awards to give out when it comes to Gen AI. And the first one goes to a very well-known game, and it is... Wow, it refuses to be opened. Well, piece of shit. Damn. Let me just very quickly... Because the negative award for the biggest backpedaling of 2025 goes to Clair Obscur Expedition 33. Now, I don't want to do a big discussion of, is this game good? Because I trust a lot of people, and I trust them when they tell me this game is fantastic. And I do think this game is fantastic, in spite of all the bullshit that went around with it. Because everyone knows the story at this point. They got caught using Gen AI. And from that point onward, we had the most embarrassing backpedaling of all time. And also the most embarrassing exposition of people who want to not acknowledge that this studio used willingly Gen AI and try to find any excuse that they can get. Because the timeline basically goes like this. Clair Obscur gets out. Clair Obscur is a really good game. Clair Obscur basically triggers a lot of very racist takes about JRPGs. It's not really their fault, but like, holy shit, we can at least acknowledge that this also happened, and maybe the devs could have been a bit more proactive in saying no, fuck everyone who does those takes. Anyway, then a few people noticed, hey, that texture looks Gen AI. And then the dev said, whoops, you got us. And I will be very specific here. The dev's initial reaction to people finding Gen AI textures in the game was not an apology, not a clear statement of why it was there, or if this was a mistake. It was, whoops, you were not supposed to see that. Then, moving forward, they had an interview where, and I will quote the CEO, the lead designer, "We use Gen AI, but not much." Notice the "we use." His words were specific. They did intentionally, and they just didn't want you to see it. And now, after the Indie Game Awards, rightfully triggered a pretty big meltdown in every single idiot over Gen AI. They went into a new interview and said, well, no, actually we just experimented with Gen AI. And we hate it, just like you. And for exactly this line, they get the disappointed Nya Award for the biggest backpedaling and cowardice of 2025. Because here's the thing. What I described to you was an accurate timeline of what they said. Their behaviors. You can say, well, maybe they really did experiment with it just. It could be. But I do think actions speak louder than words. And the only thing we got from this studio was backpedaling and trying to find excuses. And in going in the recent interview to say, oh, no, we just experimented with it. If that was the case, this should have been the response from day one, especially if you hated it. You could have, from day one, had a response saying, sorry, this was still there when the tech came out and we tried stuff around and we hated it and we really just made a mistake and this might... And hey, they could have even spun this as a great example for why you shouldn't use Gen AI textures, as everyone points out, even if they're just meant as placeholders, they are hard to replace. If their newest interview was correct and they really hated it, they really just tried it out when it came out to see what it can do, they could have had a slam dunk from the beginning. They could have, from the beginning, positioned themselves and shown, listen, we tried it, these are exactly the problems you will run into and it will just damage your image. And it would have been perfect. Instead, we got, whoops, you were not supposed to see that, and we totally did it. And then, when they saw that the heat was turning up on them because everyone is just really fucking sick of Gen AI, then suddenly it was just the experiment and they actually totally hate it. They said the next game is Gen AI free. I will say I don't really trust them in that, but we have to see when that game comes out. Everyone who listens to this, maybe on the YouTube VOD, is now angry at me. Why? The devs made money. The devs got probably one of the biggest award streaks at the Game Awards. Why should they care about the Indie Awards? Why should you care about that? This is a studio that basically is the newest darling. It's one of those where everyone wants to find an excuse on why it's good. And here's the thing. I really wish I could join that. I really wish that this was the success story of people quitting Ubisoft and just making their version of Paper Mario that they always wanted to do. I think that would have been a fantastic story. I think that would have been a fantastic game. But instead, it is just probably the most exemplary tale of why this shit matters. Why we should stand against Gen AI. Why, and I will be very clear here, if you have Gen AI in your game, and you did not intend to have to, if you hate it, that you have to be very honest and upfront, because with every passing day, people are more angry. Rightfully so. Because people want art. People want things crafted by humans. People want that you put effort into your game. And if your whole reaction is finding more and more and more excuses that just, basically adjust themselves to how hot the water is right now, you're just poisoning the well more. And no one is buying it other than the few people that really want to believe that you did nothing wrong. Anyway, now, while we're talking about Gen AI, I do think we have a positive award to give out. Initially, I thought this should have been a negative award. And I thought about it for a while. It really is not a negative award. It is actually a very positive award. Because, what?
And very funny.
And this one goes out to Larian. Thank you, Larian. Enjoy your Nya Award. Oh, whoops. For LOL, LMAO, you really managed to get everyone angry. I mean, I'm just going to put this one here, and I will just say this. I cannot thank Larian Studios enough for just triggering the goddamn avalanche that is the current response to Gen AI and industry darlings. Because, for everyone who doesn't know, their CEO went into an interview and was like, yeah, we're using Gen AI and it's going to be great. And again, aside from a few delusional people that are like, but they made Baldur's Gate 3, they should know what is good and creative.
There isn't much creativity in Baldur's Gate 3.
I mean, aside from that, I just want to point out that Baldur's Gate 3 is a game where they apparently never read the rulebook from the system they adapted. It still had great writing. And there are stuff I definitely like about Baldur's Gate 3. But then another wave came out of apparently they are just working straight up fascists at Larian that were protected by the CEO. There's a lot of homophobia at Larian. While the CEO outward is like, wow, we really love the queers. And yeah, Gen AI just really got that downfall rolling. But the thing is, was I really sad about that? Not really. Because what happened next was the thing that actually made it even funnier. Because then, the CEO of Warhorse Studio and someone where probably everyone memory hold he was pro Gamergate and just a massive idiot in general, came out and were like, but everyone is using Gen AI. What is the problem? So, I think Kingdom Come Deliverance 3 will not sell then. And Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 also. Because they also were like, yeah, we're also using Gen AI. Oh, you're really making it easy right now. So, not only do I not have to, can I just ignore the next Divinity, the next Kingdom Come stuff could also just be ignored. And also, why should I take your old game seriously then? Wonderful, that makes it really easy. Fantastic, and it just kept going. More and more CEOs just came out and were like, but everyone is doing Gen AI. And it's just like, aside from February, My wallet is thanking you. So much I can work off my backlog. I can grab off cheap games that are old, that don't use Gen AI, that were made with passion. So many studios that just outright have told us in the last weeks that I can just ignore them. And recently, famously, CD Projekt Red also chimed in and was like, everyone and we too use Gen AI. And like, wow. No money to be allocated for Witcher 4, even if I was interested in it genuinely. I can just ignore it now. It's just this mass outing of people, and the fire is burning, and we can say a lot of it. But until all of these studios completely reverse course, say they will not touch Gen AI, and just really make the stance to just just keep this literal fascist, copycat machine, this art theft machine out of the production of art. I think, yeah, we can just be happy that they all just self-identified. And you know what? Thanks, Larian Studios. You really just struck a hornet's nest. And everything is now just open to see. It's fantastic. I cannot be angry with this. This is not a negative award. This is a positive award. Thanks, Larian, who were just making everyone self-exposed to use Gen AI. We don't need to wait. Hell, even those where people memory hold they use Gen AI, like, again, Clair Obscur Expedition 33. Well, suddenly they're getting boiled again. Whoops, couldn't get out of the hot water fast enough. All cat games. Everyone had their memory hold their tweet from 2024 about using Gen AI. Now it's back. Well, those games are not going to sell anymore either. It's fantastic. Yeah. Thank you, Larian Studios. This is a Nya Award for just exposing most idiots using Gen AI. Thank you. Genuinely thank you for your service for the game industry and gamers at large. That we can just know outright who to avoid in the next years. It's fantastic.
I thank Clarion for reminding me that the CRPG genre as a whole, I don't want to overgeneralize, but let's just say 99% of it, in design terms, has only gotten worse since Fallout 1.
You know what? You should play Fallout 1.
I should play Fallout 1.
You should really play Fallout 1.
I haven't played it. I know what's in it. And it fulfills the requirements of basic game design.
Oh, you're very nice right now. Can I say that?
That's a praise from me, okay?
It's a very big praise. That's like the equivalent of a German saying "Kann man essen," you know. You like that?
Yeah. Also, I learned recently that apparently people think it is controversial to have time limits in those games.
Yeah.
And now I'm fearing even more for games in general.
Yeah, I get you.
Like, oh, I'm totally over leveled. Maybe the game is just if they had a timer that wouldn't happen, right? Like, yeah, but if they have a timer, then I'm too bad to finish the game, like Monster Hunter World. Maybe get better then.
That's fair. That's just very fair, actually.
Oh, I don't really care. No.
Someone is emotional.
I'm fine. Sorry, it was quiet for a while, but I had a histamine problem.
Oh, it was bad again? Oh, That's not good.
Yeah. What can you do? Too many beans in short succession.
I don't think the beans are the problem.
Actually, beans are rich in histamines. But apparently not so much that it causes an immediate reaction for me. So,
I mean, that kind of sucks, but also, god damn it,
I just shouldn't eat
beans.
too much of them.
Well,
I mean, I didn't need to call an ambulance, so it wasn't that bad.
yeah, that I think you can phrase it that way. It wasn't that bad. Fantastic. I don't know what to say about that, actually. I do think, we should, think a bit more about, well, I do think, this is just like the biggest problem we just have in gaming right now, that there's just this really big push for Gen AI, and it is just disliked. Like, incredibly disliked, actually. And I don't know how to best put it, other than don't. What are we doing here, even? Have you ever thought about that? That Gen AI is being pushed this much, and it's just, especially is this pushed by studios that do not need to actually invest in it.
Yeah, but they have stupid shareholders.
No, a lot of them are actually on their own.
Hey, that's really hard to explain, man.
Yeah, it.
Like, I can get it if you want to appease stupid shareholders.
And even then you can explain it to the shareholders, but that's another point.
No, they want AI. You know, I said stupid shareholders.
Yeah.
Which are most shareholders, but still.
That is not wrong.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know why people are thinking, like, if I do not participate in the Gen AI craze, then what?
I don't know. I guess there is.
That's the thing that doesn't make sense to me. They always are like, oh, we're so close before it reaches super intelligence, and then it will help all the problems. No. Just because you stack more data and refine a pattern recognition algorithm a bit more doesn't make it suddenly become aware and help you. Like, this is
basic shit.
like magical escapism at this point.
I think magical escapism really sums it up well, I'd say. Like, what is it else? Yeah. Sorry, I think we're currently just finishing this section, and then we can continue on with our awards show, because I do think we can have a few more positive awards this evening. Go. Okay. So, I do think Keith Jeffley wishes he had content like this. Hey, Lena, welcome to the Nya Awards. We're taking a bit of a break after we had our long segment on Gen AI and the just the general disappointment award on Gen AI and the incredibly embarrassing backpedaling that is Clair Obscur Expedition 33. Yeah. Backpedaling, yeah. Basically, I went over it, but they got caught using Gen AI. Then they went, whoops, haha, you were not supposed to see us using Gen AI. Then they were like, oh yeah, no, we definitely used Gen AI, but not a lot. And now that, Larian decided to just boil, put the water boiling point really high, Also, by the way, Larian got a positive award for just exposing everyone, for getting everyone to self-expose for using Gen AI, which is fantastic. It means we just don't need to dig ourselves. We can just say, well, fuck this shit. I think the biggest thing about the Game Awards, I would say, is just the fact that I don't think he's fully only in it for the money. Like, Keighley is, as weird as it sounds, Keighley is ironically longer in the gaming industry than most. Like, that guy actually worked at fucking Apogee Software. He was a Q&A tester on Rise of the Triad. Not only that, when they were making the game, they actually had to, record voice lines for the game. And some of the beta voice lines were just fucking Jeff Keighley doing impressions because they needed someone to do them. So yeah, I do think he is, I'd say, to a genuine degree invested in gaming and the gaming sphere. I just think he might just be to a degree incompetent. Very blatantly said. I don't know what's worse, but yeah, I don't want to actually be like, oh, he's a hack that just came in for, just in for the money, because I don't think that's the case. I really do not think that's the case. I just think that if you really wanted to make an awards show for video games that rivals the Oscars, you would not have online voting. It's as simple as that, actually. Because I'm sorry, one of the reasons the Oscars has some respect, in my opinion, is even though, yeah, Oscar bait is a thing, for some very obvious reasons that's not really a problem of the Oscars, I would say. It's a jury of people who just, eat, sleep, and shit movies. So you do get, like, a lot of very, that's the thing. Everyone's like, oh, but why did that movie not win an Oscar? Or why did that movie not win an Oscar? And I think one of the best examples, I will keep telling everyone was pissed that Suicide Squad won an Oscar. And if that was just not like the biggest self-exposure of people not understanding how movies work, or how, what the point of awards shows are, I don't know what. Because everyone's like, wait, the Suicide Squad, the original, the really bad one? Yeah, it won an award for makeup. Because if you watch that movie, yeah, the makeup effects of that movie are fucking outstanding. In that year, I don't think there was any movie that went and was just like, let's put equal amounts of effort into just making characters look good. And that makes something, believable. If Pioneers of Pagonia used Gen AI, that would be upsetting. I would hate that. Again, I don't even know if I will play that game, but that would just be probably one of those literal, you know what? I don't want to even use some German words, but I would definitely say you would be allowed to just go at the creator and scream Verräterschwein. Because, like, you wanted to make a new The Settlers game. You want to revive German gaming history. And you use Gen AI? Give back your German license. Again, that would be in the case he did it. I truly hope not, because it's just too shit out there. Again, I think it is kind of obvious with stuff like Clear Obscure that, hey, they are in hot water and they know it, because else they wouldn't have gone and be like, oh no, 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 no. It was just an experiment. We actually hate it. Yeah. That's why you first said you used it. Exactly. Yeah. So, I think we have a major part done of this wonderful little map. We will add one more thing. Like, we have a nice little town section. We have a nice little farming section. Next up, we will build a nice little castle section, because I do think every island with trains needs some good castles. But before that, we have a few positive awards to give out. Because I do think we can say there was a game this year that came out of nowhere. It was a surprise announcement. But also, everything that followed in terms of details was equally surprising. Because it genuinely felt like someone was actually there to just do something for a series and its fans. So the Nya Award for Most Surprising / Best Announcement of 2024 goes to... 2025 goes to Dawn of War 4. What a timeline we live in. After Relic Entertainment basically gave up on the series, it's back. And it's back with a developer I genuinely have a bunch of trust in. Because despite everything, I do liked Iron Harvest. I do think Iron Harvest did a lot of things right. And it was for the first time an RTS that really felt like, hey, this is from people that understand how RTS work. And quite frankly, as the announcements roll on, the fact they want to basically make this Dark Crusade 2.0, I am happy with that. I think saying, hey, we put in the Necrons because those were pretty clearly meant to be in Dawn of War 3, but you didn't get it, so now we're giving it to you. Fantastic. Gorgots is back. Hell, my Orc soul is happy. People can finally play the Adeptus Mechanicus. That's great. And also recently, we got probably the announcement that we finally have sub-factions in the game. That's going to be exciting. Like, think about that. A Dawn of War game with sub-factions.
Whatever that means. Because it could mean a lot.
From how they presented it, I know it could mean a lot, but this could genuinely mean that the Space Marine chapters, at least, have slightly varying unit costs and units they can deploy.
That would be nice.
It would,
because you know what that would mean?
Mm-hmm.
We could get the Death Corps of Krieg in the long run.
I mean, who doesn't want to have the trench people?
People in trenches with biomechanical horses that charge after an artillery volley.
Fair point. That is true.
That is a doctrine I'd like to play.
Yeah, that would definitely be a thing. I mean, I don't even think we might get Cadia in this regard.
But Cadia's gone.
Yeah. You know what would actually be interesting what they could do as a faction, now that I think about it? Because the Imperial Army is actually... Everyone loves Death Corps of Krieg. I think Death Corps of Krieg are just nowadays the biggest vibes, because it's like they live in a hellhole. They always deploy to the shittiest places in the whole galaxy, but their morale, undefeated. Nothing gets them down. They get the job done. And like, isn't that a mood for all of us in these trying times?
They need the commissar for them to not suicide charge.
Mm-hmm.
But just remember, like, you have normal Imperial Guards, however you want to define it, like Steel Legion of Armageddon, for example.
No, Steel Legion is different. I think
know.
they should come still, but
I don't know. But you could have the Steel Legion of Armageddon. You could have the Death Corps of Kree.
Yes.
You could have the Rambo faction.
The Katakans, but they're usually coming to help people.
Yeah, but then you need to decide which subfactions would they be helping. And yes, please close Blue Sky. You're very annoying.
I'm sorry.
There were also Imperial Legions with jetpacks.
You mean the Illusions shock troops?
Yes. See?
Yeah.
Already we have like 3 to 4 subfactions.
I mean, I if I ever did one of those games, I would definitely do 4, but it feels like they're probably launching with 2 per faction.
That's fine.
It's totally fine.
They should take their time with that. As long as the quality is good, I'm happy.
I mean, it's going to be interesting, but because the first trailer for a subfaction was the Dark Angels, and because they said this is the Dark Angels, I feel like this definitely means some troops are different. Like, for example, how's it called? Their Terminator troops are very well known, and also you could get the Line, a literal Primac in this economy, which would be cool. But also this would mean, you can either play the Blood Ravens or the Dark Angels. And it's like, do you want to have... And I don't think Gabriel Angelos is even in the fucking game. Do you want not Gabriel Angelos to lead your troops? Or a Primarch? I mean, again, I would say I'm very interested in who the Orc subfaction will be. Because we know we have the general war of Gorguts, who was Bad Sons, but now it just has like a very general war going on, so that's that. I'm very interested who the second one will be, because I don't think Gaskul will make a detour to Cronus.
The MacBoy could get his own faction.
MacBoy would be, but I would love to see Blood Flag. From Redemptions, because I do think Freebooters would be a very fun subfaction for Orcs.
It would fit.
Yeah. The thing is just about what I wanted to say about the Imperial Army. I think one of the interesting things they could do is if the standard representation of the Imperial Army is a battalion of Mobius. The system / planet where Darktide plays in. It would be interesting if the Mobian second is like deployed to Kronos. They could tie 2 games together.
The good thing about Kronos is we could get the Tau back.
The Tau
they were there once.
They were there once before the Blood Ravens were canonically. By the way, canonically the Blood Ravens won in Dark Crusade. I'm sorry. It was a Blood Ravens victory.
Even though the town and Necrons had the easiest time of clearing the campaign, but okay. And Chaos.
Blood Ravens were built different.
Yeah, they have protagonist powers.
I mean, you know what? They didn't even win that much. Hell, even the end of Dawn of War 3 was more like, whoops, I think we actually need to team up, else everything will go bad.
Still protagonist powers, I call it. We could get Tyranids as well in the long run.
Yeah. The Space Marines always win. Actually, I think in Dawn of War they never won. They didn't win all of the campaigns. They won a few. But for example, Winter Assault was an Imperial Army victory. Yeah, hey, at least Winter Assault was just very obviously, no, the Imperial Army won that. That was 100% on them.
It makes sense.
Yeah, Cronus was just the Blood Ravens thing. This is now their planet.
Yeah, I never really liked putting a canon ending on there, but
fair point.
But I can also understand why they wanted to.
Yeah.
But even then, it's like,
I think to a degree, I kind of just hope that Dawn of War 4 ends with a Gorgot's victory. I know, you know me, I like orcs, but I do think a big orc victory with the advent of a gigantic fuck-off war will swarm the galaxy is what Warhammer 40k needs.
That would be nice, but I want the Elder to steal Kronos.
Fucking Blood Magpie stealing a whole planet? Oh, what do you mean? They're just borrowing the planet like they borrow a lot of artifacts. So yeah, most surprise announcement, and I will seriously look forward goes to Warhammer 40k Dawn of War 4 King Arts. This award is for you. As a fellow German, I expect a lot.
If your melee system this time works on release, I would be happy to buy it.
Yeah. And you know what? Since we're actually very much in the swing of it and we are almost done with the major games, I do think we can stay in the category of stuff for the future. And I'd say we go to the most anticipated game of 2026. At least for me.
Thought it was already.
Oh no, it's one of the most anticipated, not the most anticipated.
Oh, which do you anticipate even more?
You made the Blood Ravens borrow a Primarch or multiple Primarchs. It's just like, this is our Primarch. That's Magnus the Red. Yes, and? Magnus Red.
Blood Ravens Red.
You're not even our successor, chapter. Shh. But yeah, we actually stay in the German sphere with this one because the most anticipated game for 2026 is
Loading.
Transport Fever 3. Oh, fuck. I always misclick. No! Transport Fever 3. Urban Games has come out with an announcement that was not unsurprising considering Transport Fever 2 has been chugging along for a while. So this was not the most surprising announcement this year. However, they have now released 3 videos about their development of Transport Fever 3, and what can I say? This might actually be the transportation game in 3D that they always should have been. We have already shown a great selection of trains. That's wonderful. Graphics-wise, it actually looks really good. Like, this really feels like from the scale, because the scale always fell off, but now the scale feels great. It has fantastic new additions, like you don't need to build depots to use trucks at factories, which actually saves a lot of time and space and makes everything just flow more nicely. The absolute power move of allowing us to build cargo trams that we can just drive the goods directly into the city. The fact that transportation from the city to factories is now actually a relevant mechanic you want to use to actually boost the output of industries. The fact that industries can be on the water. The fact that, all of the mechanics we had in Transport Fever 2 are just there, but better and bigger. That, for example, you want to build a road over another road, but it's now just a simple click tool that just instantly elevates the road, builds a bridge, and elevates it down again. What? You have full lane control over how traffic is going to drive, with apparently also a better AI on so cars can actually avoid trucks, etc. This sounds fantastic with every single new reveal. This one sounds more and more like the game a lot of other games promise to be. And honestly, I'm looking forward to it. Very big. So yeah, most anticipated game, the Nya Award goes to Transport Fever 3. Also Urban Games. I hope the next soundtrack is going to be on the same level as Locomotion. We understand each other. With that, we are almost through the Nya Awards. Lane control, so whether your road vehicles drive on the right side of the road or the wrong one. That, and you can specify how, for example, intersections will run. Like, from which lane you can actually, take a turn to the right or not. So, like, if you have, like, a crossing with, like, 3 lane roads, for some reason, you can say only vehicles on the rightmost lane can actually take a turn right. No one else. Stuff like that. So, like, very in-depth abilities to control your, traffic. And I think that's great. So, yeah, let's go back and work a little bit on the castle. And meanwhile, I think we can talk a bit more about our most anticipated games. Because, I do think Dawn of War 4, I did not expect it. I did not expect it to come from a different dev than Relic. Because I was genuinely, like, I'm someone who doesn't dislike Dawn of War 3. I do think it had a lot of promises, but it was dropped. And I think that is probably more important. All road vehicles drive in the middle. Who has priority at intersections? Let's figure out themselves. True road chaos. Yeah, you know what? Why not? Fuck it. That's going to be great transportation. All the cars have it bad. And if you don't want to be stuck in bad, drive the train, fucko. The future anarchist want. Oh wow. We have a lot of new castle stuff. I enjoy that. Ooh. But yeah, I do think the biggest part about Dawn of War 4 and why I'm very happy that it actually landed with King Arts is the simple fact that as much as it pains me to say it, Relic dropped the ball. They dropped interest. They just let the game die, And at some point, I was, just like, this sucks. You want the game to not only succeed, you want the game to work, to, keep being something that is worthwhile. And right now, when someone dropped their game, we didn't give the right to we're giving it to King. Welcome to Clash of Clans 40. Oh no! No! Oh, you don't! Oh, you don't! The worst timeline, Lena. The worst timeline. I hate this. I hate this with every fiber of my body. Do you know that? Again, a lot of people play Clash of Clans, and I still wonder why. Clash of Clans has this feeling of a game that generally only survives because the audience is very ignorant of other video games. Or maybe it is good. I don't know. I cannot actually tell you. I did not play it, and I do not intend on playing it. God, why are you doing this to me? Don't. This is cursed. This is just capital C cursed. Maybe actually. I don't know. I kind of hope to the degree that there is something to it, but I doubt it. I kind of doubt it. Rise of Nations. That's a name I haven't heard in a long time. A long time. Yeah, I don't think that would ever really get me, so I'm kind of glad I'm very immune to that. But yeah,
Pretty much the kind of person that if I see something to spend money on, I kind of
just
as a general rule, I never will.
Yeah, you just kind of tune out.
Yeah, even if the game is fun, so just as a general, I never spend money.
It's probably more healthy, to be honest. Huh. That's actually interesting. Wow. Oh well. I mean, I know I'm very, very, how's it called? Polemic now, but I cannot imagine, any dev going, oh yeah, we want to make this game. It's like, okay. I feel on some level this is just one of those, oh yeah, we, damn. I am surprised, actually, by that. Hey. Well, that's actually very fascinating to learn that this game exists. I'm going to be very honest with you. That was like, okay, fascinating. I mean, it's always that story, You like, who makes a game and why? It's always a big question. But first of all, let's actually get this one here a bit done. And before we do this, before we finish this, we can actually go and give away a few more awards. Because there have been has been one, or let's say a few genres that definitely had some good releases this year. And one of them is the boomer shooter genre. The boomer shooter genre is, once again, very strong. Basically came out swinging, not as much as the last years, but it had its very big share of great titles that made the year more enjoyable for everyone. And with that, the totally unbiased and totally honest award for Nya Award for Best Boomer Shooter of 2025 goes to Beyond Sunset. Patrick, if you're hearing this, you won. Your game is out and it's fantastic. I know there was a lot of shit in behind the scenes, but you all still did a fantastic job. Everyone was like, wow, that looks interesting. Yeah, they're actually working on a new game called Final Absolution, which you can wishlist now on Steam. So you could maybe do that. But yeah, congratulations Beyond Sunset for getting the Nya Award for Best Boomer Shooter. Also, you're actually getting 2 awards. Yes, that's right. We have our first double win this year, because also the Nya Award for Best Soundtrack also goes to Beyond Sunset. Which is, it's an absolute banging synthwave soundtrack. And like, I can only recommend you to just look it up. Just look it up on, YouTube. You can definitely get a good vibe for what it does, and frankly, yeah. Best soundtrack goes to Beyond Sunset. I think the composer is Carl Vincent, also on YouTube. So yeah, you can find their work there, and hope you also enjoy that one, because this one is alright. This one is like, again, fantastic synthwave soundtrack. Truly hope we will see. This was made by Carl Vincent. I do hope you accept this award, because fantastic soundtrack. Really gives every single level its own unique identity, and makes it all a fantastic, just a fantastic time to play. But we already have a spoiler in the chat. Yes, we have a triple award this evening, everyone. Because also the Nya Award for the best caked up sphinxes also goes to Beyond Sunset. No one caked the sphinxes better. So yeah, Beyond Sunset, you did yourself. Triple award. No one ever did this in the history of the Nya Awards. So as all I can say is, whatever the team comes up next, it's definitely something you should keep your eyes on. And I'm very sure it will not actually include Gen AI, unlike other games that won awards this year, but not Nya Awards, because Nya Awards will not be handed out for Gen AI, at least none of the positive ones. So yeah, triple award winner for Best Boomer Shooter, Best Soundtrack, and Best Caked Up Sphinxes goes to Beyond Sunset. Congratulations! I wish you all the best for the future, and wishlist Final Absolution on Steam. Alright. Let's keep building that castle. Or more like, I need to build a station here, because I have an idea. See, you know what we don't have yet on this railway track? Switches. You see, switches are really important. Why are you laughing?
Reasons.
There is no I just said what I said. Switches are important. Especially in the railway business, you need switches. Switches just make everything work. They are absolutely crucial to the environment of trains.
They're very versatile, yeah.
Yeah. Without switches, trains could not run. What is your problem? No, seriously, what is your problem?
Don't think about it, okay?
Okay, now I cannot not think about it. What is it with you? Chat, why is my girlfriend laughing so hard? Hey, which are really important. You can just have tops and bottoms. Oh, no! Oh!
Now you get it.
I mean, yes, but also...
Sometimes you need to be very nice to the train and promise them things, and sometimes you have to slap them real hard.
Stop that! What is this?
Slap that train.
No! Don't slap that train!
I will slap the next train I see.
You will probably get some sexual harassment case going then.
No.
Why?
Because trains are nice.
Okay.
And also inanimate objects. They can file sexual harassment cases.
But trains can have feelings.
Yes. especially my feelings that I project onto them.
Listen. Also, by the way, no.
No.
Why are you all making sex jokes?
It's not a sex joke. You don't have to have sex.
So you ride the train, sometimes you want to have a train ridden. No, Link, stop. Okay, I
See,
get
that's
it.
the trolley problem.
No, it's not the trolley problem.
Yes, there's a switch, and the switch needs to decide: is it better for the train to run under or over a person?
Oh, inside, I guess.
Or inside?
No, stop! I made a joke. Don't take this seriously.
You need to take trolley problems seriously.
No, stop that.
Otherwise, Plato will be sad.
Plato can fuck himself.
No, he can't. He's dead.
That's not my problem. Inside eyes. No, Lena, you just made it worse. Stop it. Why are you both so cursed? What is it with you? Why? Why can't I have a normal chat?
This is normal chat.
My normal chat. Chat reflects the streamer. No.
Maybe.
No, stop with the maybe. That's illegal. You can't just encourage them, okay?
Actually, I can.
You shouldn't.
That's up for debate.
No. Please. No. Please. Okay. You accepted my no.
Not really.
Yes, you did.
It's just boring if you repeat the same thing over and over.
I do not. Okay, first of all, no chat should not reflect the streamer. Because you know what? I'm not making sex jokes here. I am reviewing video games.
Mm-hmm.
What is that? Mm-hmm.
Well, you reviewed Baldur's Gate.
I mean, I did review that last year, but like, it's not this year. I mean, this year they got, at least Larian got a positive award for, outing all the people, but this is not the point. This is not the point. This is not the point. It's not the point.
It's a comma.
Stop it. Do you really need to make those comments?
Right now? Yeah, you're kind of asking for it.
No, I don't want you to make those comments.
And talk about something else.
Okay, okay, you know what? You see how we are closing in on finishing this wonderful build? Isn't it nice?
How many sheep do you need to eat a blade of grass?
1.
Yeah, but why?
Talk about caked up sphinxes. I mean, honestly, those sphinxes were truly caked up. I was shocked. Like, I mean, you'd think sphinxes could not be this caked up. But no. I can't believe that my sphinxes were this caked up. Could be this caked up. It's like, yeah. And why did you stop breathing like that? You're making me nervous.
Oh, I was just like, you're right that it takes only one sheep. But do you know why it only takes one sheep?
Why?
Well, there are two possible answers. A, sheep do not eat the whole blade of grass because they zupf it.
They zupf it.
They zupf it.
They just nibble it, you mean?
Yeah. So there will never be a blade of grass fully eaten by a sheep. That's one answer. And the other answer is sheeps eat more than one grass blade once, so maybe you need a very small sheep.
What?
Have you ever seen a sheep eating only one blade of grass at once?
What? I am confused.
I'm also confused.
Then why did you ask me this question?
You wanted to talk about something different.
That was not really...
Oh, nice. Now it's floating. Oh.
No, I don't want to. I do want to fix that though. Sorry. What if you pick one single whole complete blade of grass and feed that to sheep itself?
Then you need a human as well.
Yes.
See?
My brain hurts.
Mine too.
Well, whose fault is that?
Physics. And probably hypnocatrice.
That's... Don't blame the bird.
I will blame Hypnoc as much as I want.
I mean, you can, but you shouldn't.
I cut its fucking tail so many times, I still don't have the plume I want.
We're getting there, okay? We're getting there. Don't you worry.
Bad bird.
Do you really want to say bad bird?
Bad bird. It eats dreams.
What a nightmare. I spoke.
Hypnocactrice.
Gedeihe, dummes Federvieh. Ich muss den scheiß Vogel essen. Why do German memes just sometimes escape containment? That is just not a good thing.
Not? But our humor is unique.
I know, but I feel like it's just a teeny tiny bit talent for desire. Because I don't think everyone outside of Germany will understand the full context of a joke that is made in German.
Yeah, not everyone, but there will be people that understand it.
Like, there's I think the worst part is, I think, about jokes, that some jokes are like genuinely too, how's it called, too much part of the history they live in. Like, for example, they were made in, like, for example, actually a really good one is, remember Looney Tunes? There is the very there's this thing of, Roadrunner versus Coyote, right?
Makes no sense, I know.
Yeah. Why?
Because coyotes are faster than roadrunners.
Yeah, but you know what the thing is? Actually, can we get to the point that this is how this was actually intentional?
Probably.
Yeah, because, okay, so the thing is that, okay, by the way, 2 Degree, Roadrunner and Coyote were actually designed to be kind of a riff slash takedown on Tom and Jerry, because the makers of Roadrunner and Coyote were basically like, they basically said, Tom and Jerry, that's bullshit mass marketing. Like, oh, they're just doing, cheap chase scenes, and all the adults just find like, haha, look, the cat is being chased, can't catch the mouse anymore. That's like There's no humor, there's no writing, there's like nothing in there. It's just the cheapest form of entertainment possible. You know, you need to keep in mind this was still during the time where this all was aired like in cinema, okay? And so basically their idea was, oh yeah, you know, we're going to make a really cheap cash-in that is basically also just two beings with no rhyme or reason. They just chase each other. And they just keep doing that. And, you know, when we just make something that's just like really fucking cheap and simple, you know, people will just wake up and realize how trashy and bad that is. You reminded me of some other old German someone showed me once. I'd be interested in seeing them actually, so yeah. But yeah, basically people were like, they were like, this is really bad and cheap, and you know, the moment people will watch it in cinema, they will realize how stupid Tom and Jerry is, and then, you know, we made our statement and we won. So, Roadrunner and Coyote became basically overnight one of the if not the biggest short they aired from Warner Brothers. And like, it was so popular that you know, Warner Brothers basically went to them and were like, cheap cash-in, you say? Maybe we also want to get in on those cheap cash-ins, because wow, that was popular. I just one I thought it lol. I don't know if there were memes as such or just one of funny videos, but oh, let me just see. Oh god, that looks like German brain rot. Let me actually take, I don't want to, let me mute the desktop audio for a second. Oh yeah, that is fucking German brain rot. That is finest German brain rot. Let me just open that actually in browser. I can't open it in browser, damn it. Oh yeah, you know, when we talk about German brain rot, I think one of the most prominent ones I can show you. You probably saw this one already, but I genuinely like this one. It is probably still my favorite. But yeah, German brain rot is like basically a lot of people making very absurdist shit in Blender. Hohe Qualität, deutsche Gehirn verrotten. Oh yeah, again, this one is kind of my favorite, so just enjoy this one.
Kennen Sie das auch? Sie wollen Ihre 17,3 Kilogramm schwere europäische Blauhaarkatze transportieren? Aber wegen der unoptimierten Architektur der Katze und ihrer eigenen mangelhaften Muskelmasse ist es Ihnen leider unmöglich, die Katze ohne extra eigens dafür angefertigtes Spezialwerkzeug zu transportieren. Damit ist jetzt Schluss. Tragbare Katze. Tragbare Katze. Tragbare Katze. Sicher, einfach, eine Katze, aber vor allem tragbar. Erwerben Sie eine tragbare Katze jetzt. Und erhalten gratis dazu untragbare Schulden. Vergessen Sie die Realität, alles was Sie jetzt brauchen ist tragbare Katze. Sie sind noch nicht überzeugt, dann sehen Sie sich dieses Bild an. Jetzt sind Sie überzeugt. Nur für kurze Zeit, zum Tag der deutschen Einheit. Tragbare Katze Deutschland Edition.
Willkommen zu
whatever that is, accidentally clicked on it. But yeah, that is tragbare Katze. I've seen something like that. Yeah, that's That is German brain rot. It's very much a very, very absurdist thing with a big focus, but I didn't know you were German. Hey, Knight. Oh, I never actually made a big secret out of that, but yeah, German. Probably would not be as funny if I wasn't German. I think you showed another track, but it could be that I showed the same one on stream because yeah, das ist ja etwas. Ja, hallo, moin. Yeah. Yeah, I do think I just really like that one. It's what is wrong?
Nothing.
You just want to cuddle? Okay. I do think I do think German Brain is just like very enjoyable because it's just such a distilled form of nonsense, you know? Like it kind of, you know, it's probably the starkest contrast to Italian quote unquote brain rot, where it's just, you know, people creating stuff with Gen AI and it's like it's just bullshit, and now it's like, and here's like, no, people sit down in Blender and just create incredible nonsense. And you know, also I feel like the absolute unhingedness of like the word plays that some do, because there's this thing in there's like this culture of like very old, very, very bad jokes. And this is like very front and center in German brain rot, that people just make like the worst puns imaginable, and it's just a lot of charm in that, you know? A big amount of charm. Anyway, before we set down our train.
What?
You did stuff.
No? I did not.
It was still a lot, okay? I think we need to talk about a few games still. We have a few awards to hand out. First off, let's start with the award for. Yeah, that's a classicer. I think we need to talk about something that connects us. See, when we play games, there's a lot of times where we actually play games together. And some games are fantastic to play together. Some are standouts. Some really enrich, you know, just enrich the lives of friend groups. But I think this year, in 2025, one game especially stood out in terms of concept and execution. In a year where a lot of its kind of happened, this one was the most humble, the most chaotic, but also the most enjoyable. So I would say the Nya Award for Best Multiplayer Game of 2025 goes to Peak.
Gemütliche Feierabendrunde.
Gemütliche Feierabendrunde. Mario Party for Friendship Destruction. No, we're just channeling all our inner Andy84 to protect our Mother Earth from any alien attack. Sorry, EDF was not in 2025, Lena. We waited all of 2025 for EDF 6, but it was not in 2025. Good. I like, honestly, this is one of those. I mean, genuinely, I do think Peak is very much deserving of being the best multiplayer experience this year, because like we have a lot of games that always try to that did the whole, you're four friends, and it's kind of just a lot of goofy situations. I think none really channeled the whole, you're four people, get up that mountain. And then you were just cut loose. And the experience is fantastic. EDF 6 was 2022. Peak is indeed Peak for me, yeah. I do think Peak is a fantastic game. I want to keep playing it. I mean, hey, maybe EDF... I mean, it would be EDF 10, right?
Technically.
Maybe that is coming out soon. Who knows? Hey, if there's a new EDF next year, you probably know which one might get that award, if it doesn't shit the bed for some reason. But yeah. This is the best multiplayer game of 2025, in my opinion. So yeah, Aggro Crab, great job. This Nya Award goes out to you. Okay, let's build a train. Because, we're still train building here. Okay, do we want to... Oh, they really have Emma. I don't think we want a diesel engine. That's like... By the way, I think one thing is very funny about Thomas the Tank Engine. And it's the fact that the creator of Thomas really hated diesel engines. Like, with a passion did he hate diesel engines. Like, holy shit. There we go. It works. And there we go. The train is rolling through the winter wonderland. Isn't that nice? Yeah. I am very much looking forward to whatever comes for multiplayer games next year. There's probably going to be a lot of stuff happening. So, oh. Train has to stop, but like, I can't actually go and... Okay, that's weird. Now. Yeah. There we go. Yeah. And I do think there also have been games that sabotaged by the car lobby. Indeed, no one else could that have been. It was definitely not my own incompetence.
Is this a new Dutch island?
I guess.
No.
The car lobby sabotaged a lot. horrible, horrible, horrible color B.
Wouldn't the lift be better there?
What?
A lift.
There is no lift in this game.
But it would be better.
No, lifts would actually still be worse than stuff like that.
Why?
Because you need to stop, lift up, and then go less. There are more points for failure than a spiral.
You say that.
Not only I say that, like every train engineer ever says that.
It works for boats, it works for trains.
Isn't that nice? That's why I like this game. You can just build a train and then it runs the train. By the way, this one is only $4 on Steam right now, so if you like building trains, this one might be for you.
The Dutch have reached England.
Not the Dutch reaching England. Trains are just non-amphibious boats. I guess fair. Yeah. I think we can slowly wrap up the Nya Awards with the final awards of the year. So our train is running. That's perfect. Okay. So there have been a few games that made great awards, and there have been a few games with in different genres. Like there's also a genre on this channel that is important. You know me. I like boomer shooters, so I honor a boomer shooter of the year. And you also know me. I like survival horror. So I will honor a survival horror game. And I do think the Nya Award for Survival Horror Game of the year 2025 goes to It's Silent Hill F. I mean, no question here. This is like, without a doubt, one of the best games this year in terms of execution, writing. Lena, I already awarded the Victoria 3 of the year to Victoria 3. It happened. Yeah, Silent Hill F. Absolutely fantastic survival horror game. It is definitely a return. No, it's not only a return to form for the series. I think it is an absolute fantastic redefining of what the series can be, while still being connected to all the other Silent Hill games. While having a story that is topical and still very, very in-depth with its themes. It has fantastic characters, it has great twists, and that's why I was at family dinner. It didn't happen. Well, now you know it happened. Sorry. The Wiki 3 award of 2025 went to Wiki 3. Nothing does Wiki 3 like Wiki 3. So that's that. Yeah, Silent Hill F, absolute outstanding masterpiece. Some of the most interesting characters in recent gaming history. Outstanding writing, great use of replayability, and so much meme potential. Like, let's just not forget how much we all laughed at the fact that Shu just sucked. Holy shit, does he suck? And yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
Drug Man.
Mr. Drugs.
The enemy of all women.
The enemy to all women. That was not me. That was the game saying that. So yeah, Silent Hill F, absolutely fantastic game. Yeah, I think this one wraps up the Nya Awards pretty well. But wait, you say, what is the game of the year? Well, there were a lot of games this year, and you know, game of the year is something that we actually cannot really define, because everyone has their own definitions of game of the year. Every game excels in different areas. They are just games of the year, not a game. It's Silent Hill F. Congratulations, Konami. You have 2 Nya Awards in 2025.
We also haven't played every game.
Yes, but I'm objective, and I know that Silent Hill F deserves that award.
You're objectively subjective or subjectively objective?
I'm Nya. So yeah, congratulations on Silent Hill F. Not the big winner this evening. This was Beyond Sunset with triple awards, but anyway, yeah. Fantastic period piece about feminism and the horrors of marriage. So yeah, absolutely well deserved. And for everyone who wasn't there for the whole stream, let's just go over the winners and losers. First loser, most disappointing release this year, went to Monster Hunter Wilds, a game that didn't deliver, underperformed, and then also just didn't run on any PC with a good graphics card. Best expansion, Still Wakes Deep Siren's Rest. Actually perfect example of what an expansion should be. More of that, please, dear industry. The Victoria 3 award of 2025 goes to Victoria 3. No one Victoria 3's like Victoria 3. You should play more Victoria 3. The most disappointing game cancellation of 2025 went to X-Defined and Ubisoft. Congratulations for gutting a game that had so much interesting things going on and lined up, and you just murdered it before it could get there. The most we are so back and it is so over awards of this evening went to Helldivers 2, a game that simultaneously managed to be at its best and at its lowest in the same year. It can't be one award, it is just a dual award of equal parts satisfaction and disappointment. The negative award of biggest backpedaling of the year went to Sandfall Entertainment and Clair Obscur Expedition 33. They got caught using Gen AI, and then they just kept backpedaling the more the water was boiling for them. Now we reached, actually we just were experimenting, but you know, considering you were saying we use it before, this is really not that believable. Then the award for the positive award for outing the goddamn industry for using Gen AI goes to Larian. Congratulations, Larian. You really made everyone from Warhorse Studios to CD Projekt Red just self-identify as Gen AI users. So many games we just don't need to care about anymore. Fantastic job. I really thought about this maybe going to be a negative one, but honestly, the Larian CEO triggering this much of a meltdown and letting people self-identify, just a benefit for everyone, right? So you know what? Good job, Larian. Most surprising announcement and to a degree second most interested game for 2025, Dawn of War 4. King Arts, please do not fuck this one up. I have high hopes up for you, but great surprise announcement. I am very much interested in what you're going to deliver. Most anticipated game of 2026, Transport Fever 3. Urban Games, your videos are fantastic. I really hope you can deliver. Again, do not fuck this one up. The triple awards for Best Boomer Shooter, Best Soundtrack, and Most Caked Up Sphinxes goes to Beyond Sunset. Again, if you want to support the devs, they have a new game lined up called Final Absolution. You can wishlist now on Steam. Please do that. It will help them greatly. Best multiplayer goes to Peak. Nothing more to say. It's Peak. You climb a mountain, you fall off, you all laugh and have a good time. What else is there to say? Also, and best survival horror game and game of the year goes to Silent Hill F. What an absolute achievement for their first full-size game for the people at Nya Awards with writing from Ryokishi 07. Masterful experience. I can highly recommend that you all try it, and absolutely deserving 2 Nya Awards for best survival horror game and game of the year. So, and with that, this was the Nya Awards. We built a wonderful little train track. We had a wonderful time. We handed out some fantastic awards that probably shined a light on all the good and the bad of the gaming industry. And I do think we will see each other in 2026. We might have another small stream tomorrow, depending on how everything works out. But otherwise, have a wonderful rest of 2025. Spend it together with your loved ones. Eat some good food. Stay in the warm. Maybe enjoy a bit out in the snow if you have it. Pet a cat, pet a dog, pet a bird, whatever animal you have. If you have a snake, they will also like being petted. And stay safe. It's just a few more days. We've went through a lot. We had a lot of ups and sides and downsides. There were fantastic games and there were just disappointments. There was a gigantic push to normalize Gen AI and an equally strong push back. That we should not forget that people hate us, that we are actually not alone in this, that this is not something they can force on us, that people have enough. That we can actually have wonderful little games like Islands and Trains. That we can have indie successes like Peak. That we can have GZ Doom games like Beyond Sunset. And even that some big games like Silent Hill F can just happen. Those are all positive things. And if anything, 2026 is going to be an even more stacked and even more varied year. Hell, I might even have to choose between multiple survival horror games. So yeah, thanks everyone for tuning in to the Nya Awards of 2025. It was a year. And I hope you stay safe. And I hope you stay healthy. And I hope I can see you all back again in 2026. So have a wonderful night. Have a wonderful final days of the year. And goodbye.